Hello, good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
And this is the body weight weekend or any day of the week workout where all you need is your body weight and a little bit of space.
You got it all.
We'll be working on our single leg / two leg activities as well as our crawls and progressing those skills towards our handstands.
Play with that handstand today.
But we should get warmed up first. So let's get to that and then stay tuned.
From a position that's comfortable for you, feet underneath the hips. Start with that head neck and start with a gentle chin tuck, looking towards the floor, and then pulling down on the front of the neck to stabilize the extension or looking up. Then it's reaching the top of the head up as the chin goes down, and repeat that one more time as you pull down on the neck to extend up to tall. Return to the eyes on the horizon, and then at the head neck, move laterally, meaning a lateral bend on the neck. The head moves, the neck moves very little. Go from one side to the other, and the side that the ear is approaching the shoulder, stay soft on the neck to make room. Repeat again as we go up and over, ear towards shoulder. Small movements again are sometimes the best, and repeat the other way. Return to the middle. Let's replicate those same movements from that rib cage area, starting with the sideways bend first. Hands across body, lightly squeeze the shoulder blades together, and go up and over, again, softening the side that you're moving towards. Then easy effort to the tall position, and then the side flex the other way. Stay over the hips with that rib cage, making sure we don't lean too big, nothing so juicy as a stretch, but just a nice rib oscillation here, staying over the base of support at the hips. It's that final time as a side flex, return to the middle. Let's get into the rotation a little bit differently later, and now let's go to the floor. Moving through those ankles. It's the knees over toes, consistent with our squat, and then press those hips through to be tall. Repeat, pulling low, softening the front of the ankle to make room for those knees, and press through again. Cramp your butt cheeks so much and press down that your heels might lift away from the floor as you hold the balance. Now here, casually, could we check in with that rotation as we turn the head from side to side, and then return to the middle, and return the feet to the ground. Let's go a little bit lower this time as we bend the knees and let the heels lift up a little bit to help us get lower, and then knees to the floor quietly with the hands or without, and then that hip extension through. Let's get to those hands now in a finger callus hand flow, reaching to the floor, absorbing the contact. Then spin those blood donations forward and casually at the shoulder blades here, let's shrug up. Very useful shape for those shoulders in our handstand, and then pull those armpits down. And repeat that one more time, shrug up, keeping the elbows straight, and pull down. Now squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then without moving the spine, protract or push the shoulder blades apart, spreading from each other. Repeat on the retraction again, and then press away one more time. Then retract, one more time, and this time as we push away, push the floor away and push the hips through. Now from this tall kneel position, let's tuck under those hips. Hands could be anywhere you choose, maybe even across the body. With the head staying stable, could we gently turn the rib cage one way, then return to the middle, and then the other. Return to center. Now move as a full unit where the head and the shoulders and the ribs move together, and then back to the center. And again, keeping those hips squared or forward. For one more rotation, start with the head neck, and then turn through the torso. Return the head neck to the center, follow with the rib cage after. Lead with the head for this moment, turn with the rib cage, and then the head to center, body to follow, shake it all out, and let's do a quarter turn with those hands, landing fingers, calluses, and full hands. I'll push towards Lauren on my right and drift to the left. Push one way and go the other. Emphasize that tension between the fingertips and the calluses of the hand, the straightness on the arms, and feel that groundingness and the tension to provide stability in a crawl at first and ultimately into that handstand. I'm back in the middle. I'll push through. I'll shake it out. And one more wrist movement for me before we hand it off to Lauren. Get to those gorilla fists on the ground. Namely, the peace sign digits, meaning index and middle finger. Open a set of fingers flush to the floor. Gently flex over the wrist as Lauren's showing from that side line position, and then push into the knuckles to return to stack. The flexibility and the stretch is being able to go over, and the strength and mobility is being able to come home from that to stacked wrist with strength. Repeat one more time each. Easy does it on the handover, keeping the elbow straight, using those forearm muscles to extend the wrist or back to a stacked position. And final time, back through. Really quick, go back to the original hand position, play with your weight transfers here a little bit again, and making sure that your wrists feel ready to continue with some crawls in just a second. From here, Lauren, I think we'll push our floor away, shake it out, and what's next?
I'd like to stand up to warm up those hips. So we'll tuck our toes underneath, we'll rock ourselves back. Let's find a toe balance, stick it, and come all the way up, staying up nice and tall in those toes. Next, we'll land on one heel, keeping the other knee bent and that heel off the floor. Then we'll come double up and other side descends. One more time, each landing on a straight leg up to two. Land on one, hips remain extended, cage over top. And then this time, double up. Now we'll land on a straight leg and then gently bend a single knee. And then press the hip through to extend, double up, land, knee bend, hip sit back. One more time on each here, working on that ankle mobility, making room for that femur to go behind us as we lightly tip the hips back. And one last time on this side, knee bends. Now let's stay down here. Try to peel those heels up off the floor, hold, then push up to tall, land softly on the heels with straight legs, and give that a little shake out. We'll warm up those hips quickly, and then we'll get into our core holds and our first crawl. Let's rotate those legs open. So they come forward, we show the inseam, we pull the leg underneath, other leg comes forward, show the inseam, pull the leg underneath. We'll transfer weight to a single leg. Point one leg to the front. Make sure those hips are square forward. You're more on the ball of your standing leg foot than your heel. And then at the hip or the femur, we'll turn the leg in to hide the inseam, but keep the hips level. And then rotate that leg all the way open. Let's do that one more time in this position. Turn in, turn open, send the leg to the side, keeping the hips forward, and repeat again. Turn the leg in without hiking the hips, turn the leg open. Land the foot toe ball heel. Let's pull to the other side, pull this leg underneath, and then point it to the front and repeat. From here, the inseam is forward, so we'll hide it, turning into internal rotation. And then externally rotate from the hip socket. And one more time, rotate in and rotate open. Now send the leg to the side. Repeat again. Turn in, turn open, land toe ball heel. Now in this position, or slightly adjust your stance, can we pull ourselves down into our squat? Our hips will lightly sit back, our knees will trend towards over our toes. Our chest is staying relatively lifted here, and we're driving our knees apart with their own power. All of our feet are still touching the floor. Maybe we shift our weight from one side to another. Breathe, push down and out on the floor to stand up tall. Let's make our way to the floor and do a hollow hold that will help us in our handstands, and then we'll flip over into a plank, or a crawl. Hip hinge, walk yourself out to the floor, and then however you'd like to, flip onto your back. We'll start with our knees bent, our feet flat on the floor, our head resting, our palms up at our side. Take a second here and just recognize what's touching the floor, which should be our butt or our tailbone there, our upper back rib cage, and we should have a little mouse that could live in the house in our low back behind our belly button. We're going to keep that little mouse alive back there throughout this next drill. So what I want you to do is lift your head and shoulders up off the floor, connecting the ribs to the hips, but without squishing that mouse. So we're creating that core tension while keeping the same spine. Now, if we're okay here, let's lift a single leg up off the floor. If we're okay there, lift two legs. Either stay here or extend one leg away from center, bring it back, extend the other leg away from center, bring it back, extend both legs away from center. The other option, one more, we're starting to quiver here, is to take both of them towards overhead here. As we have that overhead position, it's like we're in our handstand. Our legs are tight together, our feet are pointed. We're breathing, embracing. Mouse is still alive there. Cheeks are squeezed for 3, 2, pull it back to center and relax. Oh, that was some work.
Glad I never have to talk in that movement.
Yeah, you'd hear that quiver.
Quiver.
We'll flip over and let's get started with our first crawl, which will be combining our down dog or A-frame shape with a plank because we want some more core if we're going to get towards upside down. So let's lift those hips with a slight bend in the knees, lifting the hips and thinking the femurs are shooting towards the ceiling, and we don't necessarily have to touch the floor with those heels right now. We're breathing, lifting, and then from here, walk yourself out into a plank, and we're going to hold with parallel tension, meaning without moving, pull your right hand to your right hip, and then your left hand to your left hip, and keep that tension for 3 and your butt squeeze 2. Now lift your hips, and we're going to plaster our hands to the floor and try to walk our feet all the way in to our hands without lifting them. Ooh. And then walk your hands forward back out into a plank again. In that plank position, we'll think of that cross-body tension. So this time without moving, pull your right hand to your left hip and pull your left hand to your right hip and create tension and squeeze and breathe for 3, 2, and then lift the hips. Then walk your feet towards your hands, as close as you can get them with them staying flat. Oh yeah. And one last time. One more plank. We'll alternate between parallel and cross-body tension here. So pull in parallel, right to right, left to left. Pull and cross-body, left to right, right to, you know. Now, lift the hips. One last feet to hands. Oh, get tighter and tighter and tighter. And then slowly press the floor away. Tuck your chin. Stack yourself up one vertebrae at a time until your head is last to land. Whoa.
Awesome. Working
So warm up.
strength from the fingertips all the way to the toe tips, meeting in the middle with the core and the hips. So always check in and take some time off the hands as we emphasize the squat progressions here. Let's work on a movement clock with a little bit of variation today. Pull up to the ankle, point to the front. Land toe ball heel, and when we're out of room, let's pick up your back leg, return it underneath, then to go backwards, pick up that same leg, return it to the back, push forward, return under. Same thing on the diagonal. Knee front, knee diagonal. Point to the side, land toe ball heel. That leg's out of the push, so let's lift it up, bring it under the hip, put it back, and then press to one side to go the other. Laterally, same thing. Knee to the side. Land toe ball heel. I'm at a push, so let's recoil and pull our foot under, and then pull it back, and now push one way to go the other. It's going to be the same in the back corner. Knee to the front and the side, then turn on the standing leg, land to that back corner, then pick up the leg, face the corner, return it back to the middle center, and push one way to go the other. Out the back, toe drag, toe ball heel, find that single leg squat shape, and then pick up the leg to return under, pull it back to the front, and pull yourself back onto that leg. And it's the same thing on the other side of the clock now. It's to the front, toe ball heel, feel a stretch, and then recoil, return the back, push front, go back. Pull the leg to that diagonal side. Once you're out of the push, underneath, to the back, together. To the side, toe ball heel. Pull the leg off, return the leg back, push one way, go the other. And now we'll face that back corner with a little turn, toe ball heel landing, pull the leg off, return the leg back. Welcome back to the screen, Lauren. And one last time to the back, toe ball heel, pull the leg under, place it back, and pull yourself back to that middle position. We push, we pull. It's that intersection of both that create those lovely movements that we like to share in our handstands, the squats, and the crawls.
The crawls. We're going to revisit that bear crawl today. And last week we added a fancy compilation to that bear crawl, which we're going to do today. So let's this time forward fold ourselves down with our blades together, our chins tucked. We'll roll forward, thinking about belly button pulling in, keeping the blades together as we try to flex and round through the rib cage, rolling all the way down, extending, and then coming down to all fours first. So what we did last week was we hovered the knees off the floor and then we did a little sweep through. Let's first just start with that hover position. So hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, toes are tucked. Lift the knees just off the floor. Feel some tension here as you lightly pull the floor together, breathing, embracing abs. Now, we're going to lift opposite hand and foot and pivot through to end up to our tall sit. One leg is long in front of us, our shoulder is packed. We'll lift those two appendages up off the floor again and sweep them back under. Let's repeat on the other side. Opposite hand and foot. Lift, sweep through, hold. Shoulders packed, lift up, sweep back under. One more time each side like this. Sweep through, hold, lift up, sweep back. And last time-ish, sweep through, and then lift up and back to all fours. Put your knees down. Flip the floor away, give your wrists a second. This time, could we try the same thing, but keep the leg and the butt elevated off the floor when we do our sweep through. Come on back down. Opposite hand and foot. Lift, sweep through. Try to keep that leg up high, 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 and hip off the floor. Then sweep back to bear. Other side. Lift high, 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 and sweep back to bear. One more time. Reach the foot. Let's even point the toes and back through. And one more time, point the toes and reach back through to bear. Then lift the hips, walk your hands to your feet, tuck your chin, and slowly roll yourself back up to tall. Oh, nice.
Sounds good. Feels better. If that's true, let's continue. Lauren had us in that first position or narrow stance squat to start. Let's get back there. Let's pull our feet together to create our diamond shape or that plie and take a single leg to the front. Then take that single leg to the side and now stretch or extend that standing leg at the knee. Now reach away from center, bring the leg back to the front. Let's keep it there as we stand up nice and tall in the standing leg again. One more time, we'll go down on the single leg this time and open to the side. Try to keep this knee facing the wall behind you. And stretch, cramping the butt cheeks and pushing the hips over the knee. Then reach it one more time wide, one more time to the front, and then bring it back to that original position. Now, same thing on the other side. We'll at first go down onto 2 feet, transfer weight, and reach a single leg to the front. Open that leg to the side and stretch, pushing the hip over your standing leg. Then return to the bent knee, return that leg at the side to the front, and push the hips forward to stand tall. Now on that single leg, down and open, show us those inseams, and stretch, pressing the hip over the standing leg foot. And then one more time with the knee bend, right back to the front, and this time push the hips forward, return the legs together, and shake it. More from me in a second, but back to Lauren.
All right. I think that we should do one thing in preparation for a couple kick-ups, and that should be our little lateral squat move. So we'll pull ourselves down into our low squat as practiced earlier. Next, we're going to land a hand and a foot. The air time you choose is up to you. Little, none, a lot. It's a hand, and then a foot. Land softly back into your squat. Again, hand, foot. Start with a little bit of air if you're not used to it. Get a little bit more as you progress. And we'll go 3 back in the other direction. I like to reach those arms. If you don't have room for 3, alternate ways. 1 each way is fine. 2. Use the full hands as you do this. 3. And then push the floor away. Then stand up tall. Nice first air time, whether it was a millisecond or a full second. All ranges are great.
They are. And it takes that little baby air, if you will, or just a super small amount, and build it over time as you practice your skills of that handstand. My wrists feel pretty good. Lauren, yours ready to rock? All right, let's go in an I go, you go fashion here. That handstand entry, starting with the tripod. Lauren will describe as I do it, and I will follow describing Lauren. Follow one of us.
So with those hands on the floor, we will start with the smallest of air. We have one leg forward and back, hands rooted, shoulders stacked over top of the hands. Now start by just getting a little bit of air time, flicking the floor away, lifting off, kicking up, lifting off. You can either alternate legs right away or do a couple on one side and then switch legs. As you progress, you're going to get a little bit higher in the air, but only as safe as you feel going right now. If you want to be extra safe, which we all do, we're going to leave that trailing leg behind us today, reaching towards the wall so that you always come back to it.
Been a while in our own practice since we've done these skills, so start small so you can stay strong. Lauren has her hands open. She has a nice straight leg out the back and a light press off that back leg to transfer weight to the arms and the hands. Ultimately, we're trying to find that exact shape right there. And even if it's pretty temporary or short-lived, that's okay. But keep that leg behind you right now to ensure that we don't fall forward. Educate that pattern.
Let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
Because I need to switch legs. Maybe. So I did all of this. No, I did my one calf first.
Nice.
So I did all of my kick-ups off of one leg, and next time I'll do them all off the other. Started slow, progressed big. We want you to always come back with control to that same starting position. Avoid falling out of this. Teach your body the nice pattern, the correct pattern. Try to point those toes as you reach away. Push down into the floor so we have those elevated shoulders, and feel how your whole hands are gripping the floor. Yes, there's weight through your wrists, but you're trying to use your fingers as well.
Share the load. So as long as you feel good for that, try that again. I did 3 and 3 on each side, fairly light numbers of reps, so you can maintain that nice high integrity. So Lauren's working through, you have pointed toes, awesome straight knees, and keeping those elbows straight. They are likely to bend, so as Lauren cued there, shrug the shoulders and continue to push to the ground that you go up there. It's that rule of physics, opposite, down goes up. It really does help. Let's return to that squat clock versions of things, but this time we'll be reaching a leg to the back first, then to the side. 2 feet down. Single leg to the back. Turn out of the hip or turn your leg to the side and stretch your hip nice and tall. Then out to the side, turn it to the back, leave it long out the back as you stand tall. Then return to a single leg variation of the squat and then out to the side and a single leg stand up. Then one more time, single leg knee bend, leg to the back, finish tall, brushing the heel forward. Down onto 2 as we switch sides and reach your other leg to the back. From the back to the side and stretch the hip, nice and tall, cramping glutes. Then soften that knee bend and reach the leg to the back and stand up nice and tall again. It's a knee bend and open to the side, a full stretch of that hip. And final one, sit low, reach long, stand tall, super straight knees, and then let them jelly out and be nice and loose as well.
So we practice those tripod entries. This time, let's practice that step-in entry. So again, in the same I go, you go pattern, we will this time take a leg in the front here, arms already overhead. Remember that hollow position we did earlier and get in that in the upright position. Now, you're going to kick towards that upside down again. Try to start with baby air, just leaving the floor. Push yourself all the way, come back all the way to standing each time. Flick the floor away to come back up to tall. I like to picture myself going up and over a mini picket fence versus trying to attack the floor at 45 degrees. Up and over in order to get your hips on top of your head here. A couple rounds, that 4 to 6 number, pointing the toes, keeping that trailing leg behind so you always end up back on your feet. Great.
Awesome. It does feel good to be upside down, but we know those simple things are not necessarily easy, so let's take our time progressing. Lauren got a sweet little scissor switch in there. We can definitely play with some new techniques in here, but awesome. Nice to see that.
I forgot to
find
not swizzer.
Find that fun as we work on the fitness. There we go. Nice. And there, Lauren did keep that trailing leg behind, which is a nice beginner step here to make sure that we don't go over into like that cartwheeling or free falling type of shape.
One more time, Ian.
Okay.
Step-in entries one more time. Whether you like these or your tripod entries better, it's always fun to practice both. And it gives you a little bit of an idea of how to pull your body back in, stacking it in space as we work through both techniques. Think about pushing the floor away again to stand back up, accepting the floor on the way down. Alternating your kick up leg, even if you have a preferred side, use both. Last one or one, okay.
There we go. I think I started my rep counts about 6. Right there, felt really nice around 4. Keep it low so we can stay long in the pursuit. So again, as we enter that, Lauren's already shrugged up. We're already in that hollow position, and we already have those pointed toes. Keep going through that checklist, make it second nature, that we'll do it all the time, and it will help our performance. Returning to the squat, one more set. And this time, off the floor, just if it's a little bit. Once to the front, and then once to the back. Let's get down onto those knees, reach your leg forward, and go up and over that picket fence to the side, and then we'll stand up nice and tall. And then out to the side, and up and over that picket fence to the front, and continue nice and tall. Now with the same legs coordinating, let's go knees bend, and reach your leg to the back, and then up and over that fence to the side, followed by our stretch, and then down and up and over. We might turn in on that hip out the back and finish out nice and tall. One more time each way on the other side. Knees bend, leg out front, up and over to the side, followed by a full stretch, and then knee bend, up and over, also full stretch, heels together. Now reach 2 knees down as they bend and reach a single leg back. Balance. And then reach out of that hip to the side and down, and follow that by our full stretch. And then one more time to the side and out to the back. Land, full stretch, heels together. Shake and melt that away.
Excellent. Let us either choose your, let me start that again. Let's either choose your step-in entry or your tripod entry, and for 30 seconds on the clock, let's do those kick-ups continuously. Maybe finding a little bit of hang time towards upside down, but working on spending 30 seconds on the wrists, trying to find just the right amount of kick-up that's not too much and not too little. So we'll start with 30 seconds today. In our later videos, we might progress to a minute, but as mentioned, it's been a while. So let's get there in 5 seconds to start time. Hands are gripping. Oh, now I can't see the clock.
3, 2,
30 seconds-ish. Working on those kick-ups. Finding the right amount of kick. Breathing. Finding where your weight needs to be in your hands.
I saw Lauren do a nice scissor switch there, so I'm going to try to do about the same thing.
About 10-ish more seconds here.
Hold it, Lauren. Hold one. Can you hold one? Hold one. Hold one. What Lauren can do, I can try to do 2. Nice.
Nice, done. That was more than 30 seconds, sorry.
Love it. Love it. Like 50.
Yeah.
Thank you
So
for
much
joining
fun.
us here on a Saturday live at 8 a.m. or in the archive thereafter. Saturdays, it's time to start the weekend right or finish the week with a flourish as you work on those handstands and the simple skills that lead up to the handstand.
Next week, we start back with the kettlebell practice, week 3 on Tuesday, week 3 of our pressing. We added some push-ups this week and hip mobility on Thursday night's bar class. I'm back here Saturday. In the meantime, check out our YouTube, our website, like and subscribe on Patreon. And until next time, take care.
Stay strong.
And let's train soon.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Drink coffee. Go for a walk. Enjoy.